I've come to realize that three things are certain in Genshin Impact. Arlecchino will win the Best Daddy of the Year award, Gaming vs. Gaming will plague the Genshin war threads for the next decade, and Albedo, along with the Geo element, will always feel forgotten. Well, at least Geo is getting revived, as Navia came out and she is wonderful, and now, in 4.5, we have Chiori coming out. These two characters do nothing to fix Geo as a whole, but as standalone units, they are great. The issue here is, does Chiori power creep Albedo? Before we get started, everything about Chiori in this video is for discussion purposes only and is purely hypothetical and based on my opinion. Now, Chiori essentially does the same thing as Albedo, but better. No need to play Circle Impact, and the damage is just better than Albedo overall. Plus, it can be buffed further if a Geo construct exists on the field. Albedo has split scaling, but his split scaling was done wrong. He has an attack scaling burst and a full defense scaling elemental skill. So you pretty much never use his burst unless you want iframes or want to take advantage of the EM buff. Now, Chiori has split scaling, but it's actually, well, split scaling. She has both attack and defense scaling on her skill and burst, so you can take advantage of attack and defense buffs. Defense does suit her better as far as damage, but at least you get some extra attack from the attack stats that you have, especially coming from the weapon. She can also take full advantage of her burst, and this will be a major part of her kit as the damage is pretty nice. So, she's basically an upgrade for Albedo in every way, unfortunately, and this is really sad considering Albedo died on Dragonspine about 2 years ago, it seems, and he's just never going to have another banner as it's been like almost 2 years without even seeing him. The main places you would use Albedo is on Mono Geo teams and with Navia. Luckily, with Navia, I would still rather see Albedo, as his EM buff can beef up your shields, I guess. And Chiori really likes having a Geo construct on the field to almost double her damage, as she gets 2 puppets instead of 1 with her skill. Now, if you don't have Zhongli for Mono Geo, she will find a place here, but Mono Geo wants to shield her, and if you have Mono Geo, that means no Crystallize without someone who can provide a constant shield. You can, however, replace Goro if you don't have Goro at C6, and you may see a significant damage increase overall, as you can now have 2 sub DPS units, and her skill actually lasts quite a while, so that's very suitable here. So, in case you have both Chiori and Albedo, you can still use them together in this case. At the end of the day, I can finally say that I have witnessed power creep in Genshin, as Albedo is just outclassed by the newer unit Chiori. Both are still good in their roles, but one clearly outshines the other. We will have to wait and see how this plays out on her release, but in my opinion, Chiori is looking very interesting and I wish that I could get her. Sadly, Daddy Arlecchino is the only thing on my mind for the next 2 months, so I'll be waiting patiently. Now, to answer the question that you've all been waiting for, what's my take on gaming versus gaming? Well, I'm a gamer, so gaming all the way. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video, as it helps way more than you think. It's a win-win for the both of us, and it helps YouTube know that this video doesn't suck. Until next time, Enigma out.